4 signs God says take your hands off. They are not for you. Number 1. Absence of peace. One of the ways by which God speaks to his children is through the inner witness and the peace you experience in any situation. The peace of God is such that when you are going through any difficult situation, it would keep guard over your heart and make you worry-free no matter the intensity of the situation. In other words, this is one way by which you can tell if you are on track or otherwise as far as God is concerned. Now, when you are with someone God does not want you to be with, you will find yourself becoming uncomfortable whenever you are with that person. Instead of experiencing fulfillment and joy, you become unsettled. That's to tell you that something is not right somewhere, and the earlier you pay heed to that feeling of unrest you have within you, the better for you. Sometimes we want something or someone so bad that we fail to look out for the signs. Or rather, we choose to ignore every warning that we receive ahead of time. The one that is meant for you is supposed to bring completeness to your life and give you peace of mind. It is one of the litmus tests for compatibility. It is one of the major signs that you are meant to be together. If you experience anything otherwise, that's a wake-up call to tell you that you have the wrong person with you. Do not go any further with the relationship if you do not want things to get worse. No matter how difficult it is to let go of that person, you should understand that your peace of mind is at stake here, and that is just the beginning of other woes to follow. For this reason, it is important to stay tuned and sensitive to the leading of the Holy Spirit. Jesus said in his word that my sheep knows my voice and they hear me. God will not necessarily speak to you through an audible voice, so do not wait for it. However, there are other means though which he can speak to you and make known his mind concerning a particular situation. When you are with the one for you, one of the ways by which you know is the peace of God that you experience with that person. Issues might arise. There might be challenges along the line, but still, you would have the assurance that God is involved and not become shaken. Besides, there is this clicking feeling that you have with that person. It's like finding the missing piece of a puzzle or putting a round peg into a round hole. The reverse is the case when you are with someone God does not want you to touch. You lose your peace and every sense of comfortability when you are together with that person. No matter how beautiful, handsome, talented, influential, rich, or highly placed you or that person happen to be, it does not change anything as far as God is concerned. You might even feel attracted to them in some ways and take that as a sign to go ahead, but still does not mean God is in support of your decision. Always check in with the Spirit of God within you. Watch out for the kind of feelings that person arouses within you and the ones you experience whenever you are with them or think about them. If those feelings do not bring peace to your mind, you should do away with such person. End that relationship right there, because that means the person is not for you. Number 2, you begin to experience hardship or ill luck. According to the Bible, it is the blessings of God that makes rich and adds no sorrow to it. When you find the one that is meant for you, one of the things you experience is ease and favor. They bring in blessings into your life and you begin to experience the joy and fulfillment that comes with being united with the one that God has destined for you. On the other hand, when things start to go south, you are not experiencing joy in that relationship, or life becomes hard in general. It could be that you're with someone that is not meant for you. That means you have the wrong occupant in your boat. Just like Jonah caused the ship he was in to almost become shipwrecked, you might experience a shipwreck if you don't let go of that person. We also see that God caused all the women in the house of Abimelech to become barren because he had taken the wrong woman. This is in Genesis chapter 20. Hardships and trials are signs that you are with someone that is not meant for you. Number 3, you are not of the same faith, or your relationship will lead you to commit sin. There are certain situations where the signs are clearly written on the wall that you should not be with a particular person. You should not even go near them or conceive having any kind of relationship with them. First on this category of people that are off bounds for believers are the unbelievers. Forget about the butterflies that you feel in your belly or the chemistry that is drawing you together. Do not be fooled into thinking that you can change them or turn their fates around because you are not God. Only God has that capacity to change people, and He has clearly stated in His Word that light should have no fellowship with darkness. If you find yourself becoming involved with an unbeliever, you had better watch it and take a step back, because that might spell the beginning of destruction and doom in that person's life. So, take your time and be careful to know if that person you are with is of the same fold as you. And it's not difficult to know. By their fruits, that is, their actions, attitude, confessions, and personality, you will know if a person is in faith or not. If they are not, that's a sign that they are not meant for you, and you should not touch them. To God, it is like defiling yourself with unclean things. It is as good as desecrating the temple of God. We see Samson made this mistake twice, and that somehow led to his downfall. First, he decided to marry a lady from among the Philistines, even when God had clearly instructed them not to become involved with people of other nations. That story did not end well, and his wife was eventually given out to someone else. Yet, he did not stop at that, and went ahead falling in love with Delilah, who got the secret of his power out of him and led to his capture. Do not be fooled by your feelings or be carried away by your emotions. If that person is not the same faith with you, then they are not meant for you. Do not touch them. Another category of people that you should not be with are those who are clearly with someone else, and being with them can only result in adultery or fornication. It is possible that the flesh wants to take control sometimes, but it is up to you to quench that desire and do what is right. When a person is already taken, that is a sure sign that they are not meant for you. If they were the right one for you, then they would not be engaged to someone else.
Whatever feelings or attraction you begin to have for someone that is engaged is only lust and can be equated to covetousness. David, for instance, while walking on the roof of his palace, sighted Bathsheba and fell for her beauty. Then he went to make inquiries as to who she was, and the report was that she was Uriah's wife. That was all the sign he needed to back off. She was a married woman, and therefore any union they had together can only be classified as adultery. This is the point where he should have backed off, but he chose instead to follow the lust of his eyes and of the flesh. You do not need any seer to tell you that being with someone that is married or engaged to someone else is wrong. That is a sign in itself. Even if the thought crosses your mind, banish it immediately and go no further. Number 4. God spoke to you directly. Sometimes we can be sincerely wrong. We think that we are doing the right thing or taking the right step, when indeed we are on the wrong path. That is to tell you that you could be with someone not out of selfish interest or anything like that, and still they are not meant for you. In cases like this, God could speak to you to warn you ahead and keep you from making a mistake that would affect you for the rest of your life. In the case of Joseph, he wanted to leave Mary because he thought she was pregnant with someone else's child. He was being sincere about the whole thing, and so God had to step in and tell him not to be afraid to take Mary as his wife. However, in the case of Abimelech, who took Sarah as wife because Abraham had lied that she was just his sister, God also had stepped in and speak to him directly through a dream, warning him not to touch Sarah or have anything to do with her. And immediately he arose, he did the right thing, and restored the woman back to her husband. Rationally speaking, he had no fault whatsoever, because he had been made to understand that the woman was unmarried, but God knew that she was not meant for him and saved him from danger by warning him. In the same way, God can speak to you about that person. It could be through a dream, a vision, through his word, or through a person. It is important to pay attention and do the needful.